Okay, kids, this is Lindsay again. Today, book 5, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to look at our vocabulary list. So take out your vocabulary list and your writing book. I want you to write some answers to questions. Now, I'll give you the answers, but you try to write them so you can practice your grammar and your spelling and your vocabulary. So you need first your vocabulary list and a writing book and something to write with. But then we're also going to do page 76 and page 77 from Grammar Friends. Someone just sent me a message and asked me if I have already written the answers in my Grammar Friends. Do I need to change the answers to your answers? And the answer is no, you don't. If your answer is correct, and you like your answer, don't change it. You don't need to change it. If you're a really good student, then you can write both answers. You can write your answer, and then on top of that, write the answer that I gave you. So really, I'm not helping you do your Grammar Friends. I'm just reviewing the Grammar Friends. So you do it first, that's great. You don't have to change the answers, don't worry about it. All right, but make sure that your answer is correct. So, you need vocabulary list, you need your writing book, that's 2, and you need your Grammar Friends. All right, let's look at the vocabulary first. It's pretty easy. Planet. We've talked about planets before. How many planets are there? Earth is a planet. But I want you to answer this vocabulary question in your book. Have you thought there might be life on other planets? Have you thought there might be life on other planets? So write the answer to that question. Have you thought there might be life on other planets? Have you thought there might be life on other planets? Now, I'll give you the answer. Be careful when you write this answer. You can write yes or no, I don't care. But yes, I have thought. That means, well, 考虑啊, I have thought about. I have thought there might be life, L-I-F-E, on other planets. No, I have never thought there might be life on other planets. Okay, number 2, we're going to look at orbit. Now, we talked about orbit. Orbit means to go around. So, if I say the moon orbits Earth, we know that. How about the question for your book? How long does it take the Earth to orbit the sun? Now, we've written this before, but some of you still wrote it wrong. When you wrote the answer, the Earth orbits the sun in 1 year. Because what I really want you to write is, it takes the Earth 1 year to orbit the sun. So how long does it take the Earth to orbit the sun? It takes the Earth 1 year to orbit the sun. So write that. If I go too fast, I probably will go too fast. You can just stop the video and start it again after you have written this. But I'm going to make you show me your writing book when we start school back. Or if we're not in school, I'm going to tell you to take pictures of it. So I want to see this writing. So you know the first question. You know number 2. Everybody should be writing these answers. Number 3, solar system. The question I want you to write is, have humans ever left the solar system? Have humans ever left the solar system? The answer is no. Humans have never left the solar system. However, we have made spacecraft that have left the solar system. Rockets, we have built rockets that have left the solar system. They left Mercury and Venus and Saturn, and they left the solar system. But there were no people inside those rockets, inside those spacecraft. So the answer is no. Humans, with an S, Humans, humans have never left the solar system, comma, but our spacecraft have. No, humans have never left the solar system, comma, but our spacecraft have. Write that. Next one, atmosphere. Of course, you know Earth has an atmosphere. The question is, write this. Did you know other planets also have an atmosphere? Did you know other planets also have an atmosphere? Now, I don't know if you're going to write, yes, I knew, or no, I didn't know. No, I didn't know. Other planets have an atmosphere. Now, why do I say this? You know, Earth, our atmosphere, I don't want to talk about the science too much, but we have oxygen and nitrogen. There are many different gases in our atmosphere. We have many gases we can breathe. It's not only oxygen. But if you went to another planet, maybe that gas, that atmosphere is argon or helium. Now, we can't breathe those very much, but those are also atmospheres. So maybe the atmosphere on that planet is a different kind of gas. Now, if we went there, maybe we would die. We couldn't breathe that atmosphere, but they have an atmosphere too. So, no, I didn't know other planets had an atmosphere. All right, next one, galaxy. I don't want to talk about galaxy phones. We're talking about everything in the Milky Way, because the Milky Way is our galaxy, right? Everything in our galaxy. So here's the question. How many stars are there in the galaxy? You should know the answer. How many stars are there in the galaxy? What? You don't know the answer? Why not? Oh, okay, fine. I'll make it easy. Just write this. There are billions and billions of stars in the galaxy. Maybe that's 100 billion, that's a trillion. But if I write billions with an S, billions and billions, it means more than 1 billion. Maybe 100 billion. So there are billions and billions of stars in the galaxy. That's what I want you to write. How many stars are there in the galaxy? There are billions and billions of stars in the galaxy. Okay, if I'm going too fast, just stop the button, just stop, okay? Next question, universe. Everything we know is in our universe. There are billions of galaxies in our universe. Now, what the question I want to ask you is, do you believe there are other universes? Did you hear how I wrote an S there? Do you believe there are other universes? Now, maybe there are other universes. We don't know. We only know one universe. So do you believe there are other universes? Do you see universe ends with an S? So if you write an S on that, then it becomes universes. Do you believe there are other universes? Yes, I believe there are other universes. No, I don't believe there are other universes. It's pretty easy to write that. Yes, I believe there are other universes. All right, we're going to go to the next one, and the answer is comet. Comet. All right, you know what a comet is. You know a comet has a tail. What is the tail made up of? Listen to that question. Made up of. It means used to make something. What is the comet's tail made up of? MADEUPOF. What is the comet's tail, TAIL, made up of? And the answer is the comet's tail is made up of gases and rocks. The comet's tail is made up of gases, GASES, and rocks. Now, you know a comet is made of ice, like a dirty snowball. But when that ice melts, it becomes gases. The ice melts, maybe it becomes liquid, and when it burns, it becomes gases. So the comet's tail is made up of gases and rocks. Maybe when the ice becomes liquid and the liquid becomes gases, then they lose some of the little rocks or big rocks, and it falls off behind the comet. So the comet's tail is made up of gases and rocks. You need to write that sentence. Made up of. Next one. Oh, I know. The sentence is journey. All right. Sometimes we use the word journey to mean trip. I took a journey to Japan. But journey is more than trip. Journey is a long, long trip that you don't just go to one place. You enjoy going there. So from your house to the moon is a long trip. And everything you do between that is the journey. So there's a famous story in Chinese called The Journey to the West. It's about a monkey who goes to the West. The name of that book is The Journey to the West. W-E-S-T, big W. So, have you read The Journey to the West? Write that answer. Have you read, he goes with some of his friends. One of them's a pig, that story. The Journey to the West. Now, when you write this sentence, this is what I want you to write. Yes, I have read, and then you're going to make quotes, like somebody's talking. Then a big T, the journey, capital J, to, little t, little o, the, T-H-E, little, and then west, W-E-S-T, big W, unquote, quotes, like somebody's talking, quotes. Yes, I have read The Journey to the West. The first word is going to be a big T because it's the first word. The. Journey is a big J, but they are small words in a title. You don't need to capitalize to and the. But West, it means a big W. Have you read The Journey to the West? Yes, I have read The Journey to the West. Period. Okay? Next question. Oh yeah, where is it? Journey, data. All right. I told you before, data is already plural. The data are. You shouldn't say the data is. So when you do computer work and you study things, you will have a lot of data. Scientists always listen to the data. Maybe the scientists don't believe it, but when they look at the science, they always say, well, the data say we should do this, or the data say this is true. So, are the data more important than your opinion? Are the data more important than your opinion? If you're a good scientist, or even a good student in science class, the answer is yes. The data are more important than your opinion. I'll give you an example. Maybe you think all the girls in your class are fat. That's your opinion. You think all the girls in your class are fat. And you weigh all the girls in your class and all the girls in all the other class, and you discover it's not true. Maybe they weigh the same, maybe they weigh a little bit less, but it's not true. Now maybe your opinion is all the girls are fat, but if you look at the data say, no, actually no, this is not true. Those girls are not fat. So the data are more important than my opinion. I'll give you another example. If you think it's getting hotter, the world is getting hotter, and you think, oh, but it's always hot in the summer. Maybe the earth is not getting warmer. Well, what do? Don't listen to your opinion. Don't listen to your friend's opinion. Look at the data. Look at the temperatures every day this year, and the temperatures last year, and the temperatures 20 years ago. And you can decide, is the earth slowly getting warmer? And yes, the data say the earth is slowly getting warmer. So, are the data more important than your opinion? Your answer should be yes. The data are more important than my opinion. Next one, space. In the book we're talking about the black space out there with stars. But there are other ways to use the word space. For example, do you have enough space to have a horse in your house? Of course not. There isn't enough space to have a horse in my house. And you could say the space that you fill, for example, I put a lot of boxes in that space. There's no space for all of your toys. That means a place to put things. So the question is, in your writing book, answer this question. All right. Is there enough room? Sorry, I'm going to go back. Is there enough space in your room to have a pet? Is there enough space in your room? I said it wrong. I said, is there enough room? But room can mean space, right? Is there enough space in your room to have a pet? So maybe you want a fish or you want a puppy. Is there enough space in your room to have a pet? Pets need space to run around. Is there enough space in your room to have a pet? Some of you will say no. Some of you will say, no, my room is too small. There is not enough space in my room to have a pet. Next one. Oh, yay, where is it? I can't find it. Data, space, debate. All right. When somebody wants to be president, they will say many things, and another person wants to be president, and he will say many things. But sometimes we like those people to stand together on a stage, and we ask them the same questions, and they ask each other questions. That is a debate. So when somebody wants to be president, we watch the debates. So last time when Taiwan's president wanted to be president, she went on stage with another person, and everybody in Taiwan watched the debates on television. So, have you watched the debates on television before? Have you watched the debates on television before? That means people who want to be president have a debate. Have you watched the debates on television before? Maybe you think it's too boring and you would write, no, I haven't watched the debates on television before. All right, next one, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. We know another way to say extraterrestrial is alien or ET. But using the word extraterrestrial, sometimes we joke and say, wow, Lindsay looks like an extraterrestrial. Lindsay looks like an ET. Lindsay looks like an alien. But extraterrestrial means any life on another planet. It doesn't have to be intelligent life. So if I ask you, do you believe in extraterrestrials? You don't have to say you believe in aliens that are going to come to Earth. Maybe somewhere billions and billions of light years away, there is a rock, and on that rock there is some green jello. Well, it's alive. So that's life. That green jello is an extraterrestrial. So easy. I want you to write believe in. We've written this before. Do you believe in extraterrestrials? Just practice writing it. Do you believe in extraterrestrials? I'm not giving you difficult sentences today. We're just going to practice this. Do you believe in extraterrestrials? All right, next sentence. Oxygen. Humans need oxygen. But where does oxygen come from? The question I'm asking you today is, where does oxygen come from? This is a science question. Do you know the answer? Where does oxygen come from? Do not say oxygen comes from the atmosphere. Do not say oxygen comes from Earth. No. Where does oxygen come from? Do you know the answer? I hope you do. Write this. Oxygen comes from plants. Plants make oxygen. So oxygen comes from plants. Plants. Okay, next one. Rocket. Told you before, rockets can have a lot of power and go very far into space. And we put the spacecraft on top of the rockets. But you know, rockets don't have to have a spacecraft. Rockets could hit other cities. So sometimes we use rockets to attack countries or cities. So could rockets be used to attack another country? Could rockets be used to attack another country? Could rockets be used to attack another country? And the answer is yes. You know this. If one country wants to attack another country, they will shoot rockets. Those rockets don't have spacecraft. They explode. They can destroy buildings or neighborhoods. So some countries build rockets to fly to the moon. Some countries build rockets to go to space. But some countries are using those rockets to fight, to attack other countries. Actually, I think most countries do that. So the question is, could rockets be used to attack another country? Yes, rockets could be used to attack another country. Attack, A-T-T-A-C-K. Next one, spacecraft. Okay, here's a question. Which countries have sent spacecrafts to Mars? Which countries have sent spacecrafts to Mars? You might be surprised, only 2 countries have sent spacecrafts to Mars, landed on Mars. So, which countries have sent spacecrafts to Mars? I'll tell you the answer. The USA and China have sent spacecrafts to Mars. Right now, as we speak, as you watch this video, there is a spacecraft on Mars from China collecting data, collecting rocks, taking photos. And there's also somewhere else on Mars another spacecraft from the USA. All right, write that answer. The USA and China have sent spacecrafts to Mars. Next question. Astronaut. All right. Do you have to be in good shape to be an astronaut? Do you have to be in good shape to be an astronaut? And of course the answer is yes. Going to space is really difficult. So you have to be in good shape, S-H-A-P-E. Yes, you have to be in good shape to be an astronaut. Astronaut is a man or a woman. There have been many women astronauts. They're not only men. So yes, you have to be in good shape. That means healthy. Do you have to be in good shape to be an astronaut? Good. Next one, communicate. Can you communicate with a dog? Can you communicate with a gorilla? Can you communicate with a parrot? Well, the question I'm asking is, can we communicate with animals? We can. We can communicate a lot. They're not going to tell us what happened last week, what they saw this morning, but they can tell us what they want. There was even a gorilla who could do sign language. And if you watch TikTok, you saw those dogs hit those things trying to communicate with people. You know, they have like a button on the floor, and this button means hungry, and this button means chicken, and then this button means I. And the dog will push the buttons, I'm hungry, I want to eat chicken. Now, is it real? I don't know. Maybe they're training the dog to say that. But we can teach dogs many words. Sit up, stand, catch this, bite cereal. You know, we can teach many things to dogs. So we can communicate with dogs. We can communicate with cats, but they don't listen to us. They don't care. So yes, we can communicate with animals. All right, the next one, signal. Radio signals, but also television signals. A long time ago, television had rabbit ears. That meant they put a wire on top of the television so you could catch the television signal. So your picture would be very clear. We don't do that anymore. Now we use cable, a long line, to watch television. We don't have rabbit ears to catch television signals, or even really radio signals. Sometimes people have radios if there's an emergency, but not many people use radios, so we don't listen to many radio signals. However, your phone uses radio signals. Maybe you didn't know that. Wi-Fi is a signal. So the question is, what I ask you, is Wi-Fi strong? My question is the Wi-Fi signal strong in your house? That means, is the Wi-Fi good there? Is the Wi-Fi signal strong in your house? Maybe it's very strong. Maybe you have very good Wi-Fi. So yes, the Wi-Fi signal is very good in my house. Cell phones, Wi-Fi, even when you use the remote control, they use signals to communicate with the television, to tell it to change channels. That is a signal. When your father turns left in his car, he will turn on his turn signal. The turn signal means I'm telling everyone I'm going to turn left. Your right turn signal tells everyone you're going to turn right. So signal. Next one, I can't see. Telescope. All right. Telescopes are really long and you can use them to see far away. So here's the question. Can you use a telescope to see other planets in our solar system? Can you use a telescope to see other planets in our solar system? Believe it or not, you can. Even a cheap telescope that you buy in a toy store, if you know where to look, you can use that telescope and you can see other planets. They're not very clear. Maybe if you want a better picture, a better photo of that planet, you need to buy a bigger telescope. But you can use a telescope to see other planets. You can see Mars, you can see Jupiter with a telescope. People are often surprised when you show them with a telescope. Hey, look, there's Mars. Yes, you can use a telescope to see other planets in our atmosphere. Now, not other planets on other stars. Scientists have huge telescopes. They can do that, but we can't. All right, next one, satellite. First, is the moon a satellite? Yes, the moon is a satellite because satellite means it goes around something. So the moon goes around, orbits Earth. So the moon is a natural satellite. Got it? So we know that satellite. What about other satellites? Well, there are man-made satellites that we put into space. Those satellites send signals to Earth. We send signals to the satellite, and that satellite sends the signal to another place on Earth. I know it seems very far, but the Earth is round, like a ball. If I'm over here, I cannot send a signal over here because the Earth is between. So what do? We send a signal to a satellite in space, and the satellite in space sends a signal over there. So that's how we send signals around the planet. Well, we're using the word satellite. So here's the question. Do man-made, when I write man-made, M-A-N-M-A-D-E, do man-made satellites sometimes fall to Earth? Do man-made satellites sometimes fall to Earth? The answer is yes. It happened a few weeks ago. There was a Chinese satellite and it fell in the ocean. So yes, man-made satellites sometimes fall to Earth. Very scary. They almost always land in the water because Earth is mostly water, the ocean. All right, any more? That's it for the vocabulary. Now, I told you we were going to do page 76, but I don't think I have time. I don't. So in my next video, we will do the grammar friends. If you have not written page 76 and 77, please do that before the next video. Sit down and write the answers for page 76 and 77. Now, when I review those pages, if your answers are different than mine, maybe your answers are wrong. Or maybe there are many ways to write answers for that. You don't have to change it. All right, that's all for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.